It all starts in how we set up to the ball. We have to get our body in an athletic position, get our body in a position that it works natural from. And what we always told you was you had to be inside heel measurement, shoulder width. We want your knees slightly bent in. Hogan used to talk about feeling like he gripped the ground with the inside of his feet. And then from there, when you put your arms and you hold something, you're tying it in to the whole shoulder girdle, the lats, the pecs, the whole area. Now my body is in a strong position. If I had a sack of potatoes or 50 pounds and I wanted to throw it in that direction, I'd go to my right leg, I'd go to my left leg. Not one time would I do it with my arms or try to do anything. I'd shift my weight to the right, shift my weight to the left. One of Hogan's thoughts was that he always tried to imagine when he changed his swing that his elbows were attached to his body on his stomach, not up at the shoulder. And he actually, what he called, created a half a left arm there. And that would be like holding something heavy, you'd be here opposed to here.
Right.
And Hogan, and you were too, a little bit that way in the golf swing, a little what we call long arm. So we like to see what we call half a left arm, and it connects to the whole shoulder girdle. So if I'm holding something heavy, I'm holding it with my pec and my lat. My spine is between my shoulders, so that just ties everything in. And then it ties in all the way down in your legs, your body, and everything. And then the key factor here, once you get the brace connected address, is to understand, Hogan actually said, I created a half a left arm. Well, we had a great ball striker back in the 40s named Ed Fergal that had a withered left arm. And then we had a great ball striker called Calvin Pete, who had a left arm that basically was frozen here. So all three of those people had what Hogan described a half a left arm, and they were all great ball strikers. I mean, as pure as comes. So you've got to realize that is a factor in the golf swing. All great players have always had it. But connecting the left arm here is like tying the club into your spine. So once you move, you have a relationship from your spine to the butt of the club to the club head. That forms your V or your triangle. So if I don't change that in the backswing, look how far the club head would move, and all I did was shift my weight. And really what's left in the backswing from there is just feel like you hinge your elbows down, and there's your backswing. And actually, if you took what actually moves in the golf swing from the position here, the left knee kind of breaks to the right knee. With the left elbow down, the left lat makes a break back. So essentially, I've loaded right there. It's just kind of a 6-inch move, boom, I'm into my right leg. My arm's in a position that I could backhand someone. I try to explain that connected position as when you're here, if you were going to backhand someone, you wouldn't pull your left arm to hit them. You'd hit them with your right hip, your right leg, actually out of the ground. Right foot, right knee, right hip, right lat. That would be power, not the left arm being pulled. So connection is nothing more than tying everything together in an athletic position, and you've got all the big muscles where they'll work. You can't do anything under pressure in athletics if you're not connected. I've never seen a tennis player that wasn't, or a baseball player or anything else. They're always working, baseball players are working their body. They don't take their arms and try to hit. So, you know, connection is tying into big muscles. It's being able, when you create the short left arm, you're creating the inner force of centripetal force. When you set your right arm, you're creating the outer force. So when my spine shifts to the right, there's your V or your triangle. So when you get to your right leg, inside your right leg, always staying inside, all you do is hinge your right elbow, and there's a perfectly shaped triangle at the top. And that's what all good players do. There's the triangle at the top, there's the triangle at impact, there's the triangle through the ball. They bring it back around, the radius and the arc stayed the same. The first time Charlie Boswell hit a golf ball with Sam Bird, the first thing Sam taught him was, being blind, that he had to keep his radius and keep his arc. That once, wherever he started here, the distance from here to his spine, if it remained the same, he could hit the ball and never see the ball. And that's an absolute fact. And that's the inner force. And that's how Charlie learned to play golf. Shot scores many, many times in the 70s and the 80s. And for a blind man, that sure isn't bad. So when you connect your left arm properly, and you feel like the left elbow's down, and you can feel you created a half a left arm, not a whole left arm, that creates a connection through the big muscles. And once you do that, and you've got it connected here, realize you're controlling the club face. So if you take a golf club and set up and just take your elbow and do that and watch how much the club face changes. And immediately the handle of the club would be out of the center of the triangle or the V, and you've disconnected. And that's why if people who cock their hands, they immediately take the radius out by changing it. So if you keep the connection, as we talked about with Charlie Boswell, then that left arm will always stay in the right position and always come back to center. That way I would still be holding the handkerchief under my left armpit. But if I took my left arm and did that, immediately the handkerchief falls out, the club goes around me, and I'm totally flat and out of plane to hit the ball. The ball's down here. How in the world can you go this way and hit something down here without rerouting and doing everything? The simplicity is when you go here, your elbow's down. That sets the club straight up and dead square where it started. And then from there, if you keep the elbow down, it's right back square, and there's a release to the target. Your body, everything's facing the target. You bring it back around, set it down, it's where it started.